Most people fail their goals not because they aim too high and not because they aim too low either. They failed because they were never honest about where they were starting from. Today, I want to give you the discipline that humbles all of us, the one that separates dreaming from delusion, the one that turns goals into actual outcomes by the end of the year. Welcome. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Patience. I'm a clarity coach. I work with visionaries at crossroads, regardless of age, who are confused or overwhelmed about their dreams. And today we're looking at achievability and what you should know about that. Number one, achievable doesn't mean tiny. This is step 3 of effective goal setting, making your goals achievable. And as soon as they hear that, many people think that this means make your goals small. And that's not so. Achievable does not mean tiny. Achievable means honest. Because you see, there's a thin line between faith and delusion, between vision and fantasy. And the only difference is honesty about your starting point. Let me explain. For example, saying I want to learn a new language fluently in 1 month is specific, it's measurable, but is not achievable. Such a plan is not faith, except God gave you a specific word promising you that miracle. If not, it's simply fantasy. Instead, I will spend 30 minutes daily practicing Spanish for 6 months to reach conversational fluency is more like a plan. In fact, that's still worship. It's the same dream, but 2 completely different outcomes. An example I can think of is that of Maria. She wanted to improve her physical fitness, and she first came to her coach with a goal of running a marathon in 30 days. But here's the thing, Maria at that time had not run regularly in years. The marathon would have destroyed her body and her motivation. So she sat together with her coach and recalibrated. She refined her goal. Then they agreed that she would train and complete a 10K race in 6 months. The goal considered her current fitness level, her available time for training, and a gradual progression towards a challenging but achievable milestone. Now here's the outcome. By month 4, she was running 7K regularly. By month 6, she crossed the finish line of her first 10K. Today, 2 years later, she's running half marathons. The marathon she wanted in 1 month, she's running them now. The marathon in 30 days then would have crushed her, but the 10K in 6 months built her into a runner. And number 2, the patience of progress. Here's the second discipline. This one came to me from a member of our community, Franca Triumph. She wrote about parenting, but the truth she gave us reaches every part of our lives where we are tending something that takes time to grow. And she said this, that the produce of your planting has not yet yielded does not mean that you have not done anything. The seeds are in there. Now, I want you to really hear that with me. So many of us set achievable goals and then quit anyway, not because the goals were wrong, but because we expected the fruit too fast. The marriage that feels distant, the seeds you planted in years of consistent love and prayer are in there. They have not died. They are taking the time that the season needs. The child who isn't yet showing the fruit that you've been hoping for, the seeds you planted in their early years are in there. The business that you keep showing up for that hasn't broken through yet, the team you've been quietly investing in, even when no one saw it, the discipline that you've been building privately for months that the world hasn't noticed yet. It's all in there. Galatians 6:9 says it too. Don't grow tired of doing good. The harvest is coming for everyone who refuses to quit. So don't rush the process. Achievable goals require patience with the timeline you actually have, not the timeline that your impatience demanded. Number 3 is the soft skill leverage. This is the third discipline. And this one is for those of you whose 2026 goals involve career growth. If your goal is to advance in your career this year, hear me carefully. Hard skills will get you hired, but soft skills make you irreplaceable. Most of us are taught that career growth comes from getting more qualified or getting more certificates, more technical knowledge. These are necessary, but they are not sufficient. Look at David in scripture. 1 Samuel 18:5 tells us that whatever Saul asked David to do, David did it successfully. So Saul made him a commander over the men of war, an appointment that was welcomed by the people and Saul's officers alike. Now, these were men of war. They were experienced, more qualified than David in every measurable way. And yet, they welcomed this young shepherd boy as their commander. Now, what did David have that they didn't? Beyond the presence of God, I believe that David had the leverage, what we now call soft skills. Communication, teamwork, problem solving, adaptability, and so on. He could speak to the heart of a person, whether confronting Goliath or comforting Saul. He served Saul faithfully, even when Saul was trying to destroy him. So where Israel saw an impossible giant, David saw a solvable problem. He adapted from shepherd to musician to warrior to king without losing himself. Now, these are the 4 soft skills that changes careers. When you are setting achievable career goals, the variable that most people get wrong is the skill part. They assume that their growth depends on adding more technical knowledge, but often what will actually move them is investing in their soft skills. Communication that moves people to action, collaboration that earns trust, problem solving that the established playbook can't do, adaptability that doesn't lose your voice when the environment shifts. This compounds over decades. They cannot be outsourced or automated. They become your signature. Now, the connecting truth. 3 disciplines we've looked at today. Notice the thread. None of these promise speed. None of them give you a hack. None of them tell you to dream bigger. They tell you to be honest, patient, and deeply invested in what compounds over time. Because the dream that you eventually finish is not the one that you announced loudest. It's the one that you tended faithfully when nobody was watching. And I want to close with this. This is what I want you to do this weekend. Pick the one that landed the closest to your heart. If it's the achievability, pick one goal that really needs a reality check and rewrite the timeline if you need to. If it's the patience, then name the seed that you're about to give up on, the marriage, the child, the business, the discipline, and remind yourself that the seeds are still in there. And if it's the soft skills, pick one of the 4 to grow in this season. Whether communication or teamwork, problem solving, adaptability, pick one and decide which tiny practice you'll do this week to grow it. But I want you to know this. The dream is closer than you think, but it requires the discipline of honest starting points, patient seasons, and skills. If something stirred in you while you were watching, send me a message. The link is in the channel description. I read everyone.